everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about things that are shaping my spring. I'm trying to be more intentional with what I consume and not fall into overconsumption. So I want to be focusing on things that genuinely and authentically represent who I want to be this season. So if you want to see some of my spring favorites, then follow along in this video. I'll be going category by category, so just skip to the timestamp that most interests you. I will be discussing books, music, beauty, and fashion in this video. First, I want to talk about music, and to me, spring music means abundance, nostalgia, and warmth and joy. One of the artists that most completely represents this to me is Hozier. His music is just so warm and nostalgic, but also really heartbreaking. He's the type of singer that I feel like breaks your heart into a million pieces, but also glues it back together again at the end. Some of my favorite songs by Hozier are Would That I for a really peaceful, warm, uplifting mood, or if you prefer more instrumental heavy, then I really like Jackie and Wilson for almost like a rock type of vibe, but still with Hozier's signature nostalgia. Another one of my absolute favorites, probably my favorite Hozier song, is Cherry Wine, because the lyricism is just next level, but be warned, it is very depressing. Next up for me is Bruce Springsteen, because I think his storytelling is so impactful but yet understated, and also because I feel like he constantly underscores his understated lyricism with his really beautiful voice, which blends like raw talent with vulnerability and technical skill. My favorite of his songs that I feel like really embodies spring is My Hometown, because it's that idea that sometimes things do change and we need to leave our hometowns, but we'll still always be from where we came from, which I think is a lot of what spring is about. Another one of his songs that I find really beautiful is Tougher Than the Rest, which is one of my all-time favorite love songs. It's just so beautiful, and I feel like it's really hopeful and raw and honest, and it feels like a young love type of song, and I feel like it's just really spring to me. Next up, another one of my favorite artists is the Lumineers. I feel like their song Cleopatra is so tragic, but also something that you just feel like you're nostalgic to, even if you've never been in that situation, which is part of what makes it so universally appealing. I also really like Sleep on the Floor, because I feel like it just encapsulates this universal idea that we all want to pack our bags and go to a different place that we've never been and start a new life where no one knows us. And to me, that's part of the beauty of spring, is that there are so many new opportunities and you can reinvent yourself in so many different ways. The next category I want to discuss is look, so this is fashion and beauty. I just want to emphasize once again that I do not support overconsumption, and that I will be for fashion just suggesting types of items rather than very specific items, because I feel like that's better for most people. For beauty, I will be suggesting specific items that I have. However, this is just to recommend in case you do need that type of product. It is never to encourage mindless consumption. Just one thing I absolutely adore for spring is a dark red flushed blush look. I think it's one of the cutest looks ever, and I feel like especially for spring, you know, apple picking season type of thing, I just feel like it's adorable, or like a farmer's market. The one I use is the Say Dew blush in the shade Spicy. Here is the color. It is really cute, and it's even better on the cheeks in person. I feel like it's just so nice. Here's more of a close-up if you want to see it. However, once again, no specific products, but I just think this looks really cute on most people, especially in a spring type of outfit, or like with a little gingham dress. I feel like that would be so cute. Next product I want to recommend, or really more a type of product, is toner pads, but not because of the skincare benefits, but more because they function like mini face masks and force you to slow down your morning routine and really be intentional with what you're doing with your time when you're getting ready in the morning. I feel like that's a really beautiful thing to have in the spring, that connection with yourself in the early morning. The brand I use is the Round Lab toner pads, and they come in this kind of container. Really cute, really nice. I feel like they work really well. Next up, I love a berry lip, but not too bold of a berry lip, but more of like a subtle, glossy berry lip for spring. It gives like freshly bitten, slightly cold morning but slightly warmer afternoon, frolicking through a meadow. That's the type of lip I want. My personal favorite of these kinds of lip products is the Clarins lip oil. I have mine in the shade Plum, and I feel like it is just really good. I can give you a little bit more of a close-up. It works really well. I feel like it just makes me think of spring every time I have it on. The final type of product I want to recommend is anything from Cosrx Snail Mucin line, because I feel like it's so hydrating and light, but also really moisturizing, which works really well in the spring when you're kind of in that transitional phase between winter and summer. The two products I have from this line are the cream and then also the Snail Mucin, like almost toner type of thing. Both of them are great. I use them every day. I love them so much. And if you want like a light skincare base for your makeup, I feel like this works really well. This is not groundbreaking at all, but this video wasn't intended to be. So floral long dresses and skirts, especially ones that are 100% cotton, they look so good on everyone. They're light, they're effortless. They give like TikTok cool girl mixed with frolicking in a meadow, and I feel like that's just so precious and I love it so much. Another type of fashion choice that I really love as an accessory is bold shoes, either in like funky patterns, colors, or just like materials. Lastly, beaded jewelry in any shape or form. Necklaces, rings, bracelets, all of it, belts, you name it, I want it beaded for spring. Because I feel like there's so many types, all shapes, all sizes, all colors, and it's just so individualized when you wear beaded jewelry because of all of the diversity of types. I like a thick beaded bracelet, I like some thinner ones, I would love a beaded necklace. I feel like they're so cute. And even beaded rings have really been growing on me, so I'm gonna show you some of my favorites in this category. First up, one of my favorites is this beaded necklace. It is stunning. It's got this star and moon detailing at the bottom, and my friend made it for me. I feel like it's so cute for spring. Except continuing with the red theme, I have this gorgeous beaded bracelet. It's like thick, so it's really a statement piece, and I just think it's so cute for a spring day, especially if you're wearing a dress or like a floral outfit. This would really complement that really well. Also, beaded ring. You've definitely seen this before if you've watched my channel, and I just feel like it's so gorgeous, and there's so many different color patterns that would look really good with this. And if you want to add some whimsy into your outfits, go with these clear, like sparkly beads. I feel like they could look really cute, especially for like an evening out, for even like a going out outfit. They would look really, really nice. The next category I want to talk about is books, because I'm a book lover to my core, have been since I was a kid and always will be. One of the most quintessential spring books ever, it's a total classic, is Little Women. It really beautifully portrays sisterhood, but also just girlhood and the transition to being a woman and an adult in that society. It's light, it's hopeful, it's romantic, it's got beautiful descriptions and scenery. It's very small scale and cute, but still doesn't ignore the harsh realities of the world around us, which I feel like is really important. So if you want a book that's just cozy and feels like a warm cup of tea on a winter evening, then I feel like Little Women is the book for you this spring. The next book, or rather books, that I want to mention is the Lord of the Rings / The Hobbit series, because I feel like the description is so beautiful and the imagery and all of the scenery really feels like it's just in an ordinary world but expanded. It's so gorgeously written. The details are so rich and warm and inviting, despite the fact that there's an epic battle and crazy creatures. It's both imaginative and like stepping into a world you've always known. If you are a fantasy lover, especially high fantasy but with a cozy type of twist, Lord of the Rings is 100% the right book for you. I also love that Lord of the Rings focuses primarily on platonic relationships, especially like familial and friendships, rather than any romantic ones. It really makes the book feel so fulfilling and shows that romantic love doesn't need to be the center of our universe in spring when new beginnings are so common. Next, and this is gonna seem like kind of a weird pick or like a surprise pick because it doesn't really go with the other books that I've just mentioned, but Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. I feel like it's one of the greatest stories of redemption and transformation because it really talks about the power of kindness and love to heal, both individually and on a collective societal scale. Because of this, we see the main character, Jean Valjean, transform from a hardened convict removed from the world to a committed father and also an involved member of society, which I think is such a beautiful story. And the father-daughter relationship in this book is so beautiful that I mean it almost moved me to tears. If you want a story about hope even in really the darkest of times and in the hardest of circumstances, and about persevering when others don't believe in you, then Les Miserables is 100% going to be a great book for you to read this spring. My last choice for reading isn't really a book at all, but it's the poetry of William Blake. He really does have a way with words, as many poets do. His imagery is so lush and vivid that you really feel like you're teleported into these beautiful gardens and natural landscapes. And these landscapes feel so inviting and so much like home, but there's still a lot of subtle societal critique inbuilt into his books. These natural landscapes you step into feel both historical and modern. It made me feel so at peace when I first read them, so I'd really recommend you read them if you want to get more into poetry this spring season. That's it for all of my spring recommendations, and on that very positive note with William Blake's poetry, I just want to say I'm so thankful if you made it this far into the video. If you really enjoyed it, and if you did, then please like, comment, subscribe, all of that stuff. It means the world to me to know there's even one person out there that watched my video to the end and really enjoyed it. So thank you so much. Love you all. Mwah.